Hello and welcome to my blog today. We are going to talk about graduating from the 10th level to the 11th level. Now, when I say numbering systems on levels, I'm using the numbering system that was arbitrarily used by the spirits who talked to the Reverend Vale Owen. And they said other people use other names. But the concept they did is there are about 10 levels of heaven to a certain extent. And then past the 10th level, after you are in the levels 1 through 10, you learn about the processes, the organization of the spirit world. You get a foundation. It's kind of like your undergraduate school. Then after beginning in the 11th level, that is when you become a full participant in the creation of life on planets, the planets themselves, different plants and animals, etc. Now let me read to you in the book by Vale Owen that he psychographed from other spirits exactly what they said, what happens when you go from the 10th to the 11th. This is what he said. Hitherto, the duties performed by those spirits in their advance have been, on the whole, of protective and strengthening quality. Guardian angels, you would call them, mayhap. This helps truly develops and becomes of more spiritual tone as they rise higher. But essentially it is of the same order, if of different aspect, in its application to those who are watched and aided, both in the earth sphere and in all those spheres and intervening up to the 10th. So what he's telling us, that what we know as guardian angels and angels are usually products of the education and the spirit and the work they've done spiritually derives from the levels 1 up to the level 10 of heaven. Then he goes on. But those who enter the sphere 11 now take on another series of duties. Their service now develops into that which is creative. They begin to learn the great mysteries of the universe of life, not now as to its operative power as more outwardly manifest, but as to its more inward potential, as it is found nearer to those holy ones who dwell about the Father's home. So do they add the greater of those lesser qualities already assimilated into their personalities, and becoming attuned by degrees to the sphere ahead, prepare for their advance into that realm where creation opens out to them in all its grand panoply of might and of majestic beauty. Now, that is what is awaiting you after I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of lives to get from the first level of heaven up to the 10th. I can't even, imagine that. But then he also goes on to say, is there's a temple on the border between the 10th and the 11th, and that helps people get used to the transition. In fact, he said, the person that talked to the Reverend Vale Owen said that he will stay in that temple between the levels for a long time because he has tasks to complete in the 10th level or below, even on quite close to the earth. But the fact is that that temple then also encompasses the 10 levels, the next 10 levels above level 10, that angels and high spirit lords, as he calls them, can come and stay, get themselves ready to go back down. So this shows you the complexity of heaven. Now, as I said before, as you go higher and higher at the different levels of heaven, you become brighter because the love reflects on you. And people at a lower level, unless you want them to see you, they can't even see you. So like spirits who are on earth, they can't, even spirits who are around earth, us, on the lower zone, or the umbral, the Portuguese say, they can't see the higher spirits who are coming from heaven unless they make themselves more dense and known to them, because as you go higher in the spirit hierarchy, you are more energy and less matter, less physical matter. While we on earth, of course, are small parts of energy and a lot of dense physical matter. So what he's saying, though, is that is a great divide, is that you are really graduating and you're going to actually become a productive member of spirit society. That means you may guide, some planet like Earth, guide the whole, human or human-like race, guide the evolution of plants, of animals, create moons or whatever, Earths, help regulate stars. All these things, this is why we go through this on earth. This is why we go through the trials and tribulation. It's all to train us for this immense power we're going to have. And if you would like to learn more, read my first book, my book of three, there's a series of three that I have said, and that the first book is Heaven and Below. The second one is Spirits in the Spirit Universe, and the third is How Spirits Guide Us. And I take information from what high spirits have told the Reverend Z. Owen, plus information given to spirits to Chico Xavier, Yvonne Piera, and Devaldo Franco. And I bring all these in, and I explain what heaven is about, what you go through, what happens here on earth to us, why we're on earth, what and how the earth is going to be guided from epoch to epoch, and where we're going to be eventually. It's going to be a planet of regeneration. It's going to be wonderful. So please, the more you explore, the more you understand about heaven, why we're here on earth, is because it changes our character. And then the different levels of heaven and how much work you have to do. Then, only then can you understand why you're going through what you're going through. It all makes sense. Anyway, I want to end this blog. I want to say God bless to everyone. God bless.